But yeah, Josh, you can start us off whenever you're ready and recording.
I've always been recording. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always recording.
Oh my goodness.
Folks, welcome back to the Proxy Podcast, everybody. Hey, we made it another year around the sun.
Oh yeah, I forget this is like the first one of 26.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we did this.
Yeah.
It's been a
we all
year.
got super busy end of last year.
Stop. No dad jokes.
No,
but yes, it has been a busy year for sure.
I wanna get to some more general like New Year's stuff to kind of kick us off / like recapping last year. We haven't had a Proxy Podcast since I think like early December. Yet we've kept up with each other's shenanigans, which
Yes.
we've had a many.
A many?
A many.
Many.
We've had a many.
When was the last time we had the podcast?
I mean, I could go check my channel
Wait,
right
yeah,
now.
you're
When was the
It
last
had to
Proxy
be
Podcast?
like early December.
Surely it was almost 2 months ago, right? Wasn't the last one that
let me
we
check the
did like
date.
with Noor?
December
And then that ended up
5th.
just-
Oh, no. That was that was the TFT event. I thought it was a podcast, but then it was actually us playing the TFT event.
Oh,
that
okay.
wasn't actually a podcast.
Oh, and
That
then
makes
I
more
didn't
sense.
put
That
out
makes
the
sense.
video until early December. Oh, it
No,
I
has
was gonna say,
been.
I
we
feel
did
like
the
it's
TFT
been a
event
while.
December 5th.
Right.
And then, oh wow, that's the last Proxy Podcast. That's crazy, guys. November 10th.
yeah.
November
There
10th
you
was
go.
crazy, chat.
That makes more
Holy.
sense. I was gonna say it has
Holy.
been a while.
Oy they.
That means November 10th. That means that was before you came to my house, no? When did you
That's
come
right. I
here,
broke
Josh?
in. That's right.
Yeah, you broke into my
doxed
house.
and broke in.
That was so weird. I was like trying to sleep and bro broke in through my bedroom window. I was like, what are you doing?
He was the creator coming to refine you.
I guess so.
It's like I
dude,
peeked through
guess
the
so.
window. Hey.
This is our season 2, okay? Or season 3, I guess.
So I'm trying to find like what have we not talked about?
We haven't talked about a lot. Should we start from the very beginning or should we start with like more recent stuff and then kind of like backtrack?
I feel like
Honestly,
the more
just-
recent stuff
just
will
start
tie into the
talking.
beginning, to be honest.
Yeah, just start yapping.
Okay,
Just
I
start.
think since we introduced, let's go all the way back to November. And this was
even happened?
this was right after I guess the last Proxy Podcast. I was able to fly all the way over to the great state of Texas.
Yeehaw!
Go hang out with us at
Yeehaw.
Anime Impulse Dallas.
Yeah, we rode horses, taught them how to lasso,
Yeah.
classic Texas things.
Yeah, and I also got to go to Bucky's. No, Bucky's.
Dude,
I know
Buc-ee's
you
so
wanted to go
cool.
to Bucky's, and I do. Did you actually go to Bucky's?
No,
or
no.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I know you wanted to, and I didn't take you, and I guess I do apologize.
No, because
As-
we only had like barely 2 days, 1.5 days.
Yeah,
2
and it was
days.
like what, 40 minutes away, I think. That was the nearest Bucky's. Because
Wait, is Bucky's only in Texas?
I believe
thought
so.
Bucky's was just like in America in general. Because I like went to Bucky's once when I was in the US.
Most locations are in Texas, but expanding across the southeast and into Colorado, with new stores opening in
Oh.
26 in Ohio, Arizona, and more states,
Oh, okay.
Arizona.
according to Google. But yes, you flew into Texas, and then I housed you. I gave you sustenance
And shelter, yes.
housing, and shelter, and then we went to a convention. And it was Anime Impulse.
It was Anime Impulse. Yep.
Yeah.
And for context, Anime Impulse, that was the very first time it was held in Dallas, because it's been a more just local native convention, but now it's started to, evolve, grow, expand to different
the
states.
Yes, exactly like the Hollows.
That is right. I don't know how to follow up with that. I was trying to make another. I was trying to think of another Zenless joke, but tried to double down, but it didn't. Yeah.
okay.
But
okay.
I've been to, at least from last year in 2025, I've I went to all the anime impulses from LA to Bay Area to Dallas. I'll mention it a little bit later, but I'm headed to the LA one in 4 days.
They have AOD stuff there, right?
They do.
Is that right?
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say. I think they showed that they were gonna do some AOD merch there.
Some AOD merch, a little like stage performance thing. They have like a little, I don't know if it's like 30 minutes or an
that's
hour like segment
sick.
for Zenless on the main stage. So that's gonna be cute.
But most importantly, they have the holographic card for Lucia.
They do have the new merch.
Real bad.
They do have the new merch. So
Real bad.
Just-
But now, to be fair, those cards are the bonus. Right? Those are the random cards for if you spend a lot of money. So if you don't get Lucia from spending money, I need you to go around that convention and find someone who did get Lucia and trade.
them.
You have to go on a
Honestly,
quest.
call me. I'll talk to him. Video call me. I'll talk to the person at the convention. I need that shit now.
Yeah, I'll just be streaming and then I'll have another phone here with Az.
Perfect. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
you would be streaming on your phone. Yeah, that's crazy though that you've went to that many anime impulses because I think I told you while you were here, but that was my first convention since RTX in 2019.
Yep.
That was Rooster Teeth Expo. That company
That
doesn't exist
Rooster-
anymore. Rooster Teeth doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh.
Actually, it does because they brought it back, and now it's okay. I
Yeah.
don't need that. I don't need to hear all that. So, the first convention. If you don't count like Smite World Championships, which funny enough, I'm actually wearing this shirt. But
Is
yeah,
that
I
from
did go
last
to
year?
Smite World Championships. No, this was actually. I think this is the one. This was the one from 2016. Which is like when they first started doing it on
Yeah.
Xbox. But I went to that one back in 2016. But no, I went
Sick.
to SWC that was in Texas in 2022, I think. It was either 22 or 23, one of the ones. Anyway, I don't really know if you would count that as a convention or not, because it's, I don't know, what really counts as like a convention? It was so isolated on just you watch, like, yeah, you could buy merch, but
Yeah.
you know, you're just watching like esports. I don't really know if I would count that.
Nah,
But
I guess
Anyway.
conventions are more like the general one.
It was cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Psych. TwitchCon. TwitchCon was before this, right?
That is right.
So, TwitchCon and then Anime Impulse. Dude, TwitchCon completely was deleted from my brain.
A fever. Like I was
Fever
low-key
dream.
about to correct you, but I was like, low-key was like a fever dream a little bit.
I
Honestly,
forgot.
it was.
It's because we were running around nonstop that like it all
Yeah.
happened so fast. It's hard to remember. The fact that was also like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, however long ago it was, like that's ridiculous that it's already been that long.
Yeah.
That's
Time to be
bizarre.
flying. Mhm.
How have 3 months passed?
Yeah, 3 months have passed since TwitchCon.
How
which
is?
insane.
I still haven't put out my vlog. Oops.
Ooh.
Do you still have the footage?
Oh, no, I still haven't. Literally, Senso sent me the edited thing already. I just need to do like the voiceover, but I just haven't had
Oh.
a chance to.
The easy part. You just need to do the easy part.
To be
We're
fair,
27
I don't
back,
like
please
voicing
don't.
over as much as I like just like filming myself, like, you know, either doing it actively or like, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna try to do that more for future vlogs. I just felt awkward because it's like we were with so many people at TwitchCon, and then it was also so many people I've never met before as well.
Mhm.
Like I think if it was like if I was like mostly just with you two, it would be fine. But because there's so many people there, I always feel awkward like talking to the camera too much or things like that because I'm
Yeah.
like. I don't want to be like that person. I don't want to be the
I
annoying.
mean, it's also
influencer.
hard to like meet people when everyone has a camera at every angle too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like yes, you are meeting people for the first time, but you're also like, hey guys, like what's going on? So it can be a little awkward, but yeah, TwitchCon was good, and then
It was
Anime
fun.
Impulse was good. That's where we got the I got the Zhufufu cosplay. See, and here's the thing. That was a very special convention because one of my chatters, drove down to Anime Impulse to say
Mhm.
hi. So that was the first time I've like interacted,
Ooh.
and that was my boy Toaster. Shout out Toaster.
Hey, Toaster.
First time like interacting with chat, interacting with a fan in person, which was very very cool.
And this year we're doubling down because we have so many plans for so many things.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Opens up wallet. Oh yeah, baby. I got so many plans.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the point where like I think traveling
Bomba.
for work and traveling for content is something that we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, I did leave while you guys were at what game was it? You guys were at some sort of game thing, and then me and BB left, and then had.
Oh yeah, we went to we went to see what was it called?
Surely,
yeah,
Josh
there was like
remembers.
an upcoming another like the gacha game. They had an event that we got into the list for, so then we went to it. I think it was.
We'll just call
I
it a
was
game
literally
mixer.
thinking
Let's
of
just
the
call it
other
a game mixer.
It was
Yeah, it
a
was a
game
game mixer.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'll see in the vlog when that comes out eventually, I guess.
Look forward to the
It's
vlog,
gonna be
guys.
outdated. The next TwitchCon's gonna happen before you get that vlog.
Hey! No. I'm gonna post my reverse vlog before a year passes, okay? May last year was when the event happened. It's coming out before May, guys. This is my promise.
Are you guys looking
So
forward to anything?
I mean, there's a lot of projects that I'm looking forward to. In terms of conventions, there's not a convention that I'm like directly looking forward to. I would like to go to that AOD concert thing. I really do think that would be a lot of fun. I just that is so soon. I wish they
It
gave
is
more
soon.
of a
Yeah.
Like I think that's my biggest problem when it comes to like I should want to travel no matter what, but the main drive is exclusive Zenless merch. Like that's what really motivates me to get going.
Yeah.
But the problem is every time they announce something about it, they're like, guys, next week, New York City.
Yo!
It's like,
True,
oh,
true.
Me
cool.
at WUA for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Star Torch Academy event happening on the 24th. They literally announced it beginning of January. It's happening on the 24th of
Oh,
January. I'm
really?
like,
Yeah.
bro. But because it's like finally East Coast, it's actually doable for me. So I'm like,
Big pod, big
fine,
pod.
fine. I'll bite. I'll bite.
Did you
But
look at? I'm curious. Have you already looked at flights if you are buying the ticket to the AOD concert?
Not yet.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I
was
did.
gonna-
I did recently look at flights for New York because of the WUA thing.
Oh, they're
So-
both in New York.
Oh.
Yeah, they're both in New
For
York.
context, folks.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so the AOD concert is a New York concert. It's like happening in New York in March, from what I remember. So the reason I haven't looked at the AOD tickets yet was because I've been looking at the fucking Star Torch Academy WUA event. Okay, I literally just like finished booking everything, like hotel and flight and stuff. And you know, unironically, you know what's funny? So for me, going to New York itself is already kind of expensive, right?
Sure.
But the price of my flight and hotel from Toronto to New York, because it's both East Coast, is equivalent to essentially half of what it cost me to go to LA
Oh,
for
really?
the same amount of time.
Oh.
At
That's
least I'm
crazy.
comparing it to when I went to LA in May last year for the reverse event, because that was super last minute though. That was literally like in like 2 weeks though. So I bought like last minute tickets, which are more expensive to be fair.
Yeah.
But the flight from here to LA is like 5 hours, and then it's also just so expensive.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I don't fly often, so I never have to like I never look at but that was I think I mentioned it, but that was the first time that I flew when we went to TwitchCon. I can't do this shit anymore. My brain doesn't work. Right before TwitchCon I went to Japan. Okay, that
Yes.
flight was the first flight I had taken since like many years, and that one was it was 13 hours or however long it was.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. That was awful. But the flight to TwitchCon actually wasn't that bad. Plus, it doesn't really matter because I immediately went I pulled one of these, and I just fast traveled. I slept through the entire flight.
You fast travel.
Yeah.
You
I
TP'd,
slept
bro.
through the entire thing.
You pressed
Yeah,
E on the two-winged sword.
That's exactly what I did. I closed my eyes in Texas, and I woke up where I needed to be. So.
In-flight food, though.
Is so
Didn't eat
shit.
it.
Oh my god. I'm never buying in-flight food ever again. That is the most dog shit waste of money I have ever done in my life.
See, you
on my
buy
way
the
back
food
from the reverse event,
outside, bring it in.
yeah, like on my way to the reverse event actually, because that was my first time flying alone ever, and it was also the first time I've flown since middle school when my family went to Disney World. I haven't gone. We don't really travel. My family doesn't really do that. So I was like, okay, let me try the in-flight food. So I got a slice of pizza. It was like this. It was like this. It was $10, or sorry, it was like $12 for this slice of pizza. I've never understood what people meant by this pizza tastes like cardboard until I had that pizza.
Hey, what about the one
here-
at TwitchCon?
yeah. The
You
one
had
at
a pretty,
TwitchCon was
you had a
fine.
bad pizza experience at TwitchCon too.
No, that wasn't because the pizza was bad. That was because my health during that day was so bad because
That's
of
fair.
like the lack of food in the morning, plus the
Mhm.
lack of hydration, plus the lack of sleep. So all three
Yeah.
of those combined into me just being miserable, on top of the fact that all of the technical issues with the stream and everything just accumulated, and I wanted to fucking get refined by the creator. I swear
That
to
day
God,
was
I would have
frying
joined the
you,
exalt
yeah.
if they were
And
there.
I understood. Yep, that's so fair. Yeah, being physically and mentally exhausted and then having to crash out on your tech is not not it.
But the pizza itself, it was expensive, but it was like fine. It was acceptable. It wasn't crazy terrible. But was it worth? What was it, $15? Probably not. But
When I was going to Japan, he was like, yo, literally just take like the ramen, like the what? Oh my god, I just had a stroke. The cup of ramen, and just ask for hot water to pour into the cup. Holy moly.
Alright, blame this on age. Me, I can't even formulate the thoughts as is slurring all his words. This is what happens when when age pushes us freaking 3 hours back.
what?
This has nothing to do
Why
with
push
age.
2
No,
hours
don't
back?
blame
2
age.
hours back.
Age already feels bad every time because Age is always doing a mission when we need to do this. You
No,
cannot
no,
do
no,
it.
no. Okay,
with
To
that
be
is
fa-
my
no,
fault.
to be fair.
No, but I want this to be clear, okay? I
Yeah,
want this
yeah,
to be
yeah.
clear. So Josh messaged us saying, "Oh guys, are we fine with the normal time, 4 p.m. PST, which is 6 p.m. EST?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." Right? So then after like thinking about it for a bit, I was like, "Okay, actually, can we push it like 2 hours back if possible? Because sometimes we do a bit later. I know it's like the time zones and stuff are very tiring, but." So then you guys were like, okay. But then I realized, I was like, wait a second. Josh said, because EST to PST difference is not 2 hours. So then my brain was like, oh, okay, I need like extra time because like 6 PST is like a bit too early because I'm gonna get home a bit late on the day of. So then I was like, okay, so like 8 PST is fine. But then it turned out to be 9 PST because I got confused, which is not even like necessarily on Josh. Like I should have just like checked. I should have double checked. So that is also partially on me. But also Josh confused the hell out of me.
I do.
To be
yeah,
fair,
it's
we
because we're
should be
all
using the
three in different
stamp.
time zones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should be using the stamp thing. I don't know why we don't whenever we're trying to talk about times. The site, I will send you the fucking site right
Hammer
now.
time,
Just
hammer time.
put it in the DMs. Put it in our group
I'll
chat.
put it in the DM.
Put it in our group chat.
Bookmark this thing.
Yeah.
Bookmark it, pin it,
Yeah.
put it on a post-it note, and put it on your monitor. Like, let's go.
Age
We
not
love primes.
procrastinating is as rare as not snowing in Alaska. Say Canada. It's literally snowing here, and it's so stupid because it's all icy
Is it?
because it got warm and then so like everything melted and then froze again. So now
Oh, you
everything
guys
is
gotta.
ice, and you just
Cause did you get hit by the same like cold front that Europe got hit by? Was it the same one that like
I don't
rolled
know.
over like the higher like north end? Maybe.
I'm not
'cause-
too sure. I didn't look at the Europe weather, so
Yeah, because Europe is like.
Did I
You don't
isolate
look at the
cold
Europe
front?
weather? Why
you
you
don't
not-
care about Europeans.
Come on.
Sorry, guys. Other people who don't exist on my side of the world just don't exist. Obviously, object
Right,
permanence, right? If they're not
Object permanence.
if they're across the ocean, there's nothing there.
Exactly.
So 2026, age to Japan is what I'm.
We'll
What I'm
see.
hearing.
I mean, we did mention what was Gamescom, but okay. Japan is
Tokyo.
back.
Oh, Gamescom for
Oh, we
for
did
yeah
talk about that.
for Europe.
When is that in the year? It's at the end of the year, right?
Tokyo Game
No.
Show or what?
Or Tokyo Game Show. Sorry,
Tokyo Game Show is
that's
end
one
of the year. Gamescom,
Okay.
summer.
Is that also in Japan?
No, that is in Europe. That is in, I believe, Germany.
Ooh.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, because it was literally. Yeah, my brain's not working today.
I just cried a little inside thinking of how expensive plane tickets from here to Japan are. Let alone Germany, which is even further, actually, from where I am.
My goal, my New Year's resolution for all of us is that we will grind the shit out of content and we will become the best content creators ever, and we will get sponsored in
Exactly.
in 6 to 8 months.
Not. It's 6 to 8 months.
It's 6 to 8.
I
we got
like
time.
that
It's not,
timeline.
you know, it's not now. We got time.
Yeah, I like that.
We
timeline.
gotta get going.
See, here's the thing. I was thinking about that, and I was like, like I am starting to get, like more and more like money from content, which I don't post videos. So if I did post videos, that would be even more.
Yeah.
But I was like, do I want to use that to travel? Like, for example, I was weighing, even if I had the money to go to the AOD thing,
Yeah.
do I really want to do that? Or do I want to save that money and pay artists for a project? And it's like, I don't know what I wanted. Like
Yeah.
traveling is cool, but also making cool projects is really cool.
That's really cool.
So
That is true. And you're
yeah,
thinking
I
of
don't
doing
know,
that
that's why
database thing too, right? Which is gonna be.
Not thinking.
Yeah,
it's
that's gonna be.
it's here. No, I've seen the.
Elliot Hari was already working on that
Yeah.
site, right?
They
Talk about that.
they were working on a concept of of what it's gonna look like. Yes, and then yesterday I did do a stream of like, was it yesterday? I think
Yeah, it was
maybe
yesterday. Last night.
Dude, today's been such a long day. Yeah, so it's gonna be it's not gonna we've been talking about it a lot more since the stream that we actually had yesterday, and it's not supposed to like fully replace the wiki, because it is just gonna be like a lore specific like database. But yeah, it's I can't really talk about it too much right now because it's still, we're talking about a lot of ideas of how we're gonna like actually show it. But I did put out a form for if anyone has like a skill set, if they want to like try and help with the project, then fill it out, whether it be like graphic design, web dev, like whatever, data collection. That way you can just help like collect the stuff that we can put on the site. Then you could fill the form. And so
You
yeah,
have
that
to
was
do a
yesterday.
You have to do like a timeline like, of the quest. That'd be
So
cool.
there is a timeline on the wiki, which like I think a lot of people don't realize is there. But after doing like what I realized is there are a lot of people that do know that the timeline is there, but what they want is an interactive timeline, not just a list of events, but like a literal timeline that they can like actively interact with.
That's gonna require a little bit more.
So
Like
it is. It's gonna require a lot. Another thing that they wanted also was a character. What's the actual term that we put down? A character relationship chart, basically. And that way you can like filter between like you can choose certain characters and it will, or just just in general, and it will show like the relationship between all the characters. But yeah, it's a lot. It is gonna be a really long-winded project. It's not anything that's gonna come out anytime soon.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of back-end stuff, especially finding the people to actually like help with it and put it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is happening. I did also I'm finishing up the storyboards of the comic thing that I wanted to do.
yeah.
In terms of like giving like a visual storytelling to the lost items, starting with the Hollows, the Hollows Bank, I think is what the actual like name is for the first lost items. And I got a very interesting message for an artist who's interested. And once I finish the storyboards, I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can set up a video call. Because if I can, it would be really fucking sick to get this artist on board. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Everybody manifest.
We're manifesting.
Manifest.
Let's go. But yeah, so those are the things in recent that I'm doing. There may be just warning, I know this isn't, I'm not streaming. There will probably be a lack of streams from me this month and potentially next month, but more videos. Because guess what I got? Guess what I got, dude?
I'll let you. I was gonna guess, but then I'll let you show it.
What? Whoa!
Dude, it's hydraulic.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
so
Like, I know what
it
hydraulics
means-
are, but
It means no matter what height I put it at, it stays.
oh, how do they do that?
Hydraulics.
Boom. Science.
I'm not an engineer, okay? I don't know
Science,
how
baby.
it work, but that's sick. You have to do
Yeah.
like those the Necrit lore videos are so.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, because I've done a few of those.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
seemed to love those, but the problem was with the reason why, because I had Rivenus actually message me, was like, dude, I also really like the fact that you're doing those video styles, but you're not moving, like you're not being emotive enough for it. And I was like, oh, dude, I totally agree. And the reason why is because I don't have a real green screen, like because I didn't have one, and so I was using the like NVIDIA fake green screen thing. And so if I moved too fast, the background would just flash, and it would just like it would show the whole thing. So I had to be like, hey guys, this is what this is today. But now that I have like a real green screen and I can like actually do it, I can like move around more and whatever. So,
That's gonna be so
yeah.
fun.
and then obviously, along with that, I got the other big thing that my chat wanted, which was a wheelie
The
whiteboard. A
whiteboard.
whiteboard on wheels. So yeah, that's cool. Anyway.
Professor Az is on the case. Father Zenless is now
Now someone
unleashing
else
his full
go.
potential.
Now someone else go. What's somebody else's projects or plans?
Or
besides
plans.
traveling?
Age. What is
Project
your
or
what is
plan?
something you're looking forward to in 2026?
I mean, I've been kind of like saying this for the past few months, but I think it was a lot of hopium because I was kind of like struggling with burnout a lot last year as a whole, which is no excuse, I think, for not being diligent with content, but I was still like, I was slacking like crazy. But I've been saying for a while that I really want to branch out and start doing more types of videos that are not just the reactions. Like, I think for me, two big inspirations are Kumax, Checo, who does reverse stuff. Checo does these really cool interviews with voice actors, and also like Josh, your interviews with the voice actors as well. So like I kind of want to start doing those, but maybe in a bit more of a like casual style, so not as kind of more like a conversation with the voice actor, you know, just like kind of yapping, and then we just yap about stuff because I think that's one of my strengths is yapping.
That's
So-
exactly why I structured mine like that. By the way, when I did the VA interviews, I also structured it as just like a conversation.
Yeah. So I want to do
yeah.
some of those, cause I am like friends with like some of them, and it's like really cool. And I just really, for me, I love hearing about the industry and how it works, and then the types of work that go into creating the games that I really enjoy playing. And I think it'd be really cool to be able to show that as well to you guys too, right? In like my own way. And also, even if it's not just the VAs, maybe I like if you know it kind of takes off, then maybe I can get some of the people who work on, let's say, maybe like the voice directing, right? The directing of the stuff, or audio engineers, things like that, to come on and also maybe talk about the process or things that they think about when
Hell
like
yeah.
just the thoughts that behind the scenes that kind of like go into how they kind of decide stuff. I think that'd be really, really cool to showcase just like the industry, I guess.
That'd be very.
And
sick.
then and also I want to do, I really like Kumax's, like her mini games, her tier lists and stuff. They're so fun. So I thought
agree.
that would also be really cool. And also one of my friends, Aflatus, who also does reverse content. Sorry. Yeah, he has this really funny series where he basically will dub over trailers and stuff, but like by himself. And I just thought that would also be really fun. Maybe I could try doing that for some, like in a very memey way, for some of the games that I play as well. So I just have like various things I want to do. Obviously, I do also want to travel if I can and actually push out vlogs and things like that, show off events. Finally figure out how to do an IRL stream properly.
Oh, amazing.
Without being super scuffed,
We'll figure it
because the
out.
multiple times I've tried so far have been very scuffed. I mean, now I have 2 phones, so I can actually use one of the phones for streaming.
Wow,
And then-
so
and then
much
just, like,
fancy.
no,
Holy moly.
no.
Yeah, I got
Because
2 phones. I'm
before-
actually rich now.
Alice with the
No,
watches,
no,
like,
no.
yeah, I got.
It's for the symmetry.
No. The other phone was a gift because they bought it for someone, but then the other person got like a different phone. So then they were like, oh, okay, here, this can be like a really like collective gift. So anyways though, because yeah, before I was trying to use my camera, but honestly it's just a huge hassle. I'll just use my camera for like the vlogging, vlog and stuff, and then I'll just use the phone for streaming, and I'll buy an eSIM, and then that'll be my internet, and hopefully it'll work. But yeah, anyways, there's just like, those are the things I have on my mind in particular that I really want to get going on. And yeah, just kind of just doing more things, because as much as I enjoy sitting here and playing the games and talking about them, I also want to, I just want to do stuff that's also, I want to do stuff that's not just playing the game, and like a bit more
so
creative.
real.
I want to be a bit
feel
more
that.
creative. I feel like
Yeah.
for me, I have been kind of stagnant in terms of, okay, I'm just gonna like play the games, and then I'll do my commentary. I'll have fun, but at the same time, I feel like I've also been, for myself, being kind of lazy with, okay, like this is what I've been doing, and it's like, it's working so far, and I'm having a good time. So then, because it's working, I just kind of don't like try to really push myself to create better content and more creative content. So I really want to, I really want to like do that and challenge myself to do more things as well. So that's my general goal for this year, is to branch out, do some of those, and yeah, we'll
Hell
see.
yeah. Also, I will say, for me, don't be afraid to just start it, even if it's shit, and then make it good
Yeah.
later. Because once you actually get started on it, then you'll continue with it. Like, because for, I mean, I haven't done one in a long time, but for example, the VA interviews, right? I wanted to do those for a really long time, and then I consistently did them for a while. Like I when I started them, I then had other VAs like reach out to me and was like, hey, I'd love to be on. And I will say, doing it that consistently, it's fucking exhausting. It really is.
Oh, for
Trying
sure.
to like plan everything out and then like try to keep everything going at the same time. It's a lot, which is why today was also exhausting, because I'm trying to do so many projects now at the same time, and then also literally just like started this other thing with the database. Like, it's a lot, but do it, because you can do it.
Mhm.
And I want to see
yeah.
it happen.
Okay, I will do my best. Oh, and then also
Let's
just
go.
health arc. Health arc.
Health arc.
Health arc
Eat
as well.
healthy.
I've been saying that for the past 10 years. I don't know. I've had enough. I'm buying sticky notes. I'm putting it on my monitor. Sleep before 2 a.m. Go to bed before 2 a.m. Even if I can't sleep right away, go to bed and don't sit here until 6 a.m. doom scrolling on my PC.
Hell yeah.
Unless you're staying up past 2 a.m. watching Fate Strange.
Oh, yeah, I heard that the most recent episode was like unbelievably.
What is
like,
that? Is that,
one
like,
of the
part
best
of the Fate
animated
universe?
things that they? Yeah, it's like I
Yep.
think it's the current Fate show that's going on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I still have. I started Fate recently actually, but I still have a lot to go through. But yeah,
Terrible advice.
I
Like
recently
that.
started back up Fire Force,
Ooh.
because it's like
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
final
yeah.
thing is coming
Yep,
up
yep,
for Fire
yep,
Force
yep.
right now.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
knowing where it leads into,
It's gonna be big.
like, it's gonna be peak. Did you already say what projects you have planned?
No,
besides
I
traveling?
was gonna be like, yo, Josh.
Yeah,
what are you
Josh,
gonna
what
be
are
up
your
to this
plans
year?
besides traveling?
Oh, okay. As to backtrack a little bit, because everyone was sharing some little gifts and doing some show and tell. Remember how during our
You got there.
live stream, as when we were talking with Molly, right? Oh, we didn't talk
Yes.
about this. We didn't talk about this when we mentioned Anime Impulse. We got
Yes.
to we're terrible at podcasting.
We are.
We're just yappers.
we're so bad. We can't stay in one
We're
place.
yappers with no structure.
So when we went to Anime Impulse, a lot of the times we'll be able to meet some amazing voice actors. That's how I actually got in contact with Jimmy and then eventually getting to interview Jimmy down the road again, Hugo Flats via Jimmy Yamaguchi. So I use, Anime Impulse as a really, really fun opportunity to, stream and showcase us meeting voice actors and such. We got to meet Molly Zhang, of course, the voice actor to Detective Conan.
Yeah.
And I guess Astra Yao, Astra Yao too, But one thing that chat was complaining about throughout the entire stream was the audio, the crunchy, weird, inconsistent audio. So, as a little investment into the stream, yes, we do have new. Yep, we got the DJI mics. Yes.
Let's go, John!
Twinsies.
Oh, wait, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, Az, where's your gray box? Wait, are those the ones you can attach the wireless mics to, or are those like actual like wireless or just like podcast?
No, they have to. It's XLR.
No, those
it's the
are
ones
the
that we
XLRs.
use.
Okay,
Yeah. It's the ones that we use at TwitchCon.
Yeah. Yeah, folks. So when we all get together, we'll find a way to get Az to the AOD concert. So when we all get together, when we stream, we will not have crunchy audio no more.
Just use the Qingming bird and kidnap me. There you go. Use one of the summit techniques. To teleport me over there. I'm sure.
I'll get Jshoea to teach it to me at night.
Wow.
In
Why
10
at
minutes.
night?
Why at night?
What do you?
Well, no, because that's when we learned it in 2.0. Remember? She taught us at night. We did
have some special late night lessons. That is true.
Like 2 hours because we're a natural. Okay, we're a natural at the Qingming sword technique or the Yunhui summit technique. So it'll be easy peasy. Don't worry.
I will say, now we can get into Zenless.
What?
Because if this is
1 hour into our podcast, we
1 hour into the
Zenless
podcast,
Zone
we can
Zero.
talk about Zenless, because I know the comments on this return podcast are going to be, after 2 months, all you have is to talk about yourselves. I can't believe
conventions. Yucky. They're all stinky.
Personal projects. Talk about the game. So yeah, let's talk about the game. I guess that there's been a lot that's happened since our last podcast. So here's what we're gonna do. Fuck everything that's happened since the last podcast. We'll only talk about 2.5.
Sorry, folks.
Right.
2.4. Let's be honest, okay? 2.4 was kind of like a little.
Hey, 2.4 was peak. I love 2.4 is my favorite patch of this entire 2.9.
Speak your truth.
Really?
Speak your truth.
Surprise.
Speak your
I'm
truth.
standing on business.
Yeah, you can.
I'm standing on business. 2.4, the story was my favorite story of all of 2.x. But
Can you tell me why?
Because I just really liked the writing for Banyue and Dylan, and I really like Krampus as a whole, and I found them very interesting, and also learning about the organization and or just the dynamic between the Krampus members was something I think I really missed. And I like the idea that they are also, kind of just doing their job.
Yeah.
It gives me similar vibes to some of the 1.x factions again, and I really missed it. I also like their design, so maybe I'm biased, but
the designs of Krampus is very good. I love Krampus as a faction. I do agree. I do think I like the how do I say this? I think I like the characters of Spook Shack more, but I like the faction itself of Krampus.
oh no, I get that.
Yeah.
And only more so because I do agree. I do think Banyue's character was sick. So in 2.4, Banyue's like entire thing, baller.
And then the
Also,
dynamic that he had with Dylan
He
is
has
also
balls
really,
too,
really cool to
so.
see.
Yes, he does have balls
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
I mean, well, balls?
Just neurally activated age.
Getting
Like
balls?
Balls? His balls?
Oh, and you
God,
have
so-
oh my god.
Holy moly.
Holy balls.
That's
Dingle, guys.
crazy.
But
Yeah, and then Zhao in 2.5. Furthermore, Zhao is awesome. Not only because of her having one of the best EPs ever in the history of EPs, and that's
How are you
not
doing on
enough
the
for
dance, by
debate.
the way?
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna show you now, but it's
You know the
it's
dance.
in there. They posted the choreography, dude. I'm trying to learn the dance.
Okay, yeah.
I'll make it a TikTok. You guys should also learn the dance, and then we could all do it together. In fact, you should all learn the dance, also get a green screen, and then do the dance with the camera at all different angles so that we can recreate the EP.
Oh my God.
Oh god.
I think it would be peak.
Oh my.
And then because Josh is the shortest, I think, Josh, you can cosplay Zhao. I'll cosplay Damien. And then Age
I'll be an NPC.
Age can cosplay the NPC. Actually, if you want to do Damien, you can do Damien. I'll cosplay an NPC.
Or we could both be Damien.
Oh,
Yeah, just
perfect.
both,
Actually, I like that.
I mean, they
idea.
all kind of wear.
That's way better.
No.
Alice would approve, okay? Because then it'll be symmetric.
Right. Or better yet, we're all Zhao.
We're all Zhao.
We all become the Labubu.
Oops,
Did I show you guys the Zhao Boo Boo tattoo?
Oh yes, you did.
Yes. you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. For context, because this didn't happen from the previous podcast, I got a Zhao tattoo where one of my community members drew like Zhao's outfit on a Labubu. So it was like a Labubu Zhao tattoo. And it was like one of those like month-long like temp tattoos. And you know, walking around the house, my mom's like, "Oh, what's that? So cute." I'm like, "Yup, it's Labubu. You know that." And she's like, "Oh yeah, so cute."
Know that.
She doesn't know.
It took you a long time to say temp tattoo. You said tattoo twice. Yeah, it was a temp tattoo.
Sorry, folks. Temp tattoo.
Just to
Temp tattoo.
clarify.
It is gone now. It was
Clarified.
It lasted
No.
pretty long though, arguable. So if you want a temp tattoo, I'll have a link for you guys. It's pretty good. All right, guys. We're all having donation and sub goals go up, so we can pay for ads to go to the concert and get a tattoo.
There you go.
There
And
it
get a tattoo
is.
at the concert. AOD, that's a great title. AOD gives me a tattoo. I'm getting a Child of Light tattoo, I think, sometime soon. That'll be my first tattoo. I'm gonna get it right here.
Oh.
Because that's the game for the
Yeah.
reason why I mentioned before, but
The indie game, yeah.
Fuck. Well, indie is not correct.
Oh, is it not an indie
It is
game?
made by no, it is made by Ubisoft. But,
Okay.
it was not a very popular Ubisoft game, I would say. Although it is good. It wasn't popular. Not whatever. Fuck you. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is the game of why I want to name my daughter in the future Aurora. I'm obsessed with that game, so I do want to get the little tattoo there. And then the Zenless is the only other one that I have in mind. Except I may also maybe get a matching Castle Crashers tattoo with my friend if he wants to still do it. Because Castle Crashers is what we grew up on.
Yeah.
It's also the game that split our friendship apart 2 separate times. And this is the friend that I've known since we were 1 year old.
Aw.
And guess where that friend is right now? Living in my house.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, I do think that would be a cool
You
tattoo.
made it.
Wow, that was so not Zenless. Yeah, so Zhao's awesome.
Yeah.
Zhao's cool. But there was a lot of stuff in 2.5 that happened. What are your guys' thoughts on 2.5? Go!
I had a
first.
pretty generational run, I would say. Yeah, 3 days of just I couldn't lose. And you guys, as of this recording, you guys will see the video tomorrow of our week-long compilation of viewer polls. I don't know the number, so I'll have my editor send that over to me, but I've done like at least 6, I don't want to say the other number, or 8.
7.
Oh, I see.
Or 8 M6 accounts.
Damn!
Holy!
And then
I only pulled one M6 on
Yeah.
one viewer. That's crazy.
but
Yeah, me
to be
too.
fair, like this is like we
Yeah,
scheduled
dude.
this. Like I had like a whole like Google Doc with like an Excel sheet with everybody
That
planned
is
for the whole week.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
How did they?
I
Actually
do have a
go?
question though.
Yeah.
Did you ever go 1 for 6 or 1 for 8 on one of those accounts?
You mean like I won 6 times and
No, the other way around.
oh, the other way around. I don't think I could say that. No.
Including Zhao's banner?
Inclusive of Zhao's banner, I don't think yeah, never, that ratio never popped up. No.
Nah, that's just a hypothetical question.
Hypothetical, yeah, hypothetical. Dude, I would feel really bad if that happened to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I would
yeah.
have to agree. I think if that did happen, I would feel really bad.
Yeah, me as well. Right?
Hypotheticals, of
Yep.
course. Yes, we have
All
no
agree.
proof whatsoever if that may or may not have happened. But yeah, those 3 days, I had never felt so much winning in my entire life.
That's crazy.
It was, yeah. Chat,
Happy for you.
if you guys were there for that whole week, it truly was a generational run. Yeah.
No,
I
it's
see.
okay. My mistake was pulling before the new year. Okay, I pulled on the 30th,
Sure.
and hypothetically, I may or may not have had some really bad luck. But I did one pull after the new year, and it was a win. So
Oh, duh,
maybe it was
We
just
take those.
2025 being very upset that it was going away.
Outside of polls, why don't we start with the story?
Yeah. What about it?
What was our rating for the story?
Just 2.5.
2.5.
You can go first, Stage, because I know you're gonna rate it
Me?
lower than. Yeah, because you're gonna rate it lower than what I did. So we can do like you can blast.
No,
it
you
and then
actually
I'll put
rated
the
it lower
Band-Aid
than
on
I
it.
did.
Did
You
I
lowered
really?
it. Your initial rating was lower than mine.
Really? Oh, okay. I gave this patch a 7, and then I gave overall season 2 like a 6. I think is the actual ratings that I gave.
Okay.
There was a point that was taken off completely because of the fact that there was no credit scenes at the end. Because if this was actually supposed to be like I know we still have the events and whatever, and there's still the epilogues, but
Yeah.
there were still the epilogues in season 1, and the credits still rolled like at the finale, right? So if this was supposed to be the actual like finale of season 2, which I know some people have pointed out, they're like, oh, they never said finale, they just said final fight. Okay, but like that would have to still, it's a big moment, and so I took an entire point off because the credits weren't there. This was very long. It was very long. I put a whole thing out of like, I think I would have introduced Xinguang a little bit earlier in the story. Like the full thing of what I said, obviously you need to rework a lot of stuff, and this is surface level. This isn't like, oh, this is how you fix the story permanently. Was I thought that it would be cool if they introduced Xinguang in the Obel Squad patch, and then had her have to use the Qiming sword to like take the Isolde out of the overseer state, and then had her mental deterioration start there, which would then also allow them to showcase a little bit more of the dynamic between Yixuan wanting to stop Xinguang from using the sword, because she would have like failed to have stopped her from using the sword then. And then you still could have used that as a reason to give the interaction between Yixuan and Magus, because Yixuan was really there to incite the remembrance of Yi Zhang and using the Qingming blade to save Magus's life. And I think it also would have been cool for that to be a full circle, that the Qingming blade was the one that saved Isolde's life, and then was the one that ended her life, technically. Well, at least took her out of the Exaltist form, but still have Magus do the final fight with the Orphe 1v1. That was very cool. Anyway, and then have her like deterioration start there, and then have her fully lose her senses at the end of 2.4, and then start 2.5 off with them trying to kidnap her because her senses are gone.
I think wow, that pacing sounds already just way better.
You would have to change a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of other stuff that you would have to change around, including a lot of like dynamics, and because you'd also have to figure out like, okay, well, if Xinguang is present there, then where was she, going to be in 2.3, whenever Spook Shack was dealing with the stuff with the town, and whatever. So anyway, it would require a lot of restructuring.
Bro, you know
but
how
I do
easily
think
they
that's
send
how it
off
is.
Yishuan? Like, come on now. Like, oh yeah,
I know.
Yishuan's
Oh, yeah,
off
she went- she
elsewhere,
was-
guys.
She was cock-blocked by a Void Hunter level threat that they never elaborated on.
Okay, but that's not every time. To be fair, I will say
Yeah.
they did give a reason, as they did sort of explain why Yishuan. Like, I'll cut some slack. I do think this is like the start of Yishuan's like actual arc. Because yeah, the mayor was sending her away so that Xinguang would have to like come in at some point. They didn't want Yishuan to do anything that would like be like, yes, let me offer you the title again. Because he had his eyes on Xinguang, because the mayor is trying to get all of the whether he's trying to collect all of the Void Hunter weapons or have every, forcefully have the wielders of the weapons become Void Hunters. We don't even know if all of them are. We know Void Hunter weapons is a thing now. We do not know if all of them are crafted. We don't know what all of them are. We don't know where they are. We don't know if anyone has the others or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ooh. But that is the thing now, and I do think that's cool. I do think that the Void Hunter weapons concept is super sick. And I showed it to you when you were here at the house, because I had just made the video where I was like, talking about the fact that there may be, 7 cursed objects for the 7 hollows, and each one pertains to a certain hollow, which that seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Here.
And then I was like thinking of that after the Joyous story. I was like, wait a
Yes.
second, the connection. I
The
made that
connection.
connection after
It's
the
all
Joyous
there.
event. It's all coming together.
But yeah, I do think that I'm very hyped for season 3. Is what I can say. That's basically what 2.5 really did. I did not like Xinguang's character before I played 2.5. I do like her character after 2.5. I do think and I know everyone has the same sentiment. I do think the girlfriend thing was laid on a little thick. I think it was laid on a little too thick. Specifically when Freaky Guang said, "I'll need to find a way to repay you later," or like whatever the line was. I know it's cinema. I know it's cinema. But it did feel like it was a little intense.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really that necessarily detracted anything from the story for me. But I did also take off a point because I wish Mr. Liu, I think is his name. I do wish that he was at least mentioned before. I know just so we're clear, they did say Mr. Liu was in charge whenever Yishuan's not at the summit. That does not mean at the temple. Mr. Liu was not at the temple. He was at the summit on the mountain. So we wouldn't visually see him at the temple. It's not that he was in control the entire time at the temple, but the summit itself. However, because Yishuan is never there, I would have at least liked to have heard his name beforehand, because everyone can agree the moment we met him, we knew it was going to be a twist, like villain, right? The way they did it, I think, was interesting. I do think it was cool. Also, I do love the fact that Xian had like a full-on emotional monologue. Let that boy have his moment. I think that was super sick. This is no longer my rating. I'm just talking about the story now, and I'm so sorry. Did you know that there was a floating utopia called Roskelifer above Eridu? Above Eridu?
No, the
Did
lore
anyone-
stuff is really cool. Everyone's like, oh my god, we're going to the floating islands next.
I don't think we're going there for season 3. I'm gonna be so for real. But I was posting my reaction alone to that because he said that. He's like, I'm from a floating island, but like a floating utopia above Eridu. And I said, what the fuck? And then I just sat there in silence for like a minute, being like, this is real. I don't know if I'm being baited or not. But yeah, the fact that we're getting into Sunbringer, we're getting into Joyous, we're getting into all that stuff. I'm very, very excited for season 3.
To kind of piggyback a little bit, and multi-gacha Hoyo gamers, I like to, connect the dots quite a bit. And with Genshin in particular, as you guys could expect. Oh, Utopia, huh? That's pretty Celestia-like, and vice versa. In the recent Luna 3 update, and this is kind of a spoiler to me because I haven't technically played it, but I watched somebody play it. Dottore, you know, summoning those like dark hole things to consume, you know, not cry. Very hollow-like.
Yes. Arnold added me on Twitter. It was like, dude, they added hollows in the Genshin.
They did.
Like,
I saw that.
I was like, yo, if these are actually hollows, you need to tell me immediately. Apparently they're not.
They're
the
not.
way that they work, or at least the idea of how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, visually,
Yeah.
it's that.
Your rating. Actually, no, I think Josh should go last. 'Cause I think Josh's rating has the highest chance of being different from Az's and mine.
Okay, please.
Wow.
Sorry, Josh.
No, because like I
just think- I
love
just think
hearing
it'll
your
flow-
guys'
it'll flow
ratings.
better.
I love hearing
Then
your
we can
guys'
see
ratings.
like both sides of it. Because for me, I am honestly, Az and I share most of the same sentiments. Like we've talked about this before in DMs and stuff. But initially, after playing 2.5, I gave it like a 7.5 for the main story. Because the thing that frustrates me the most about 2.5, and a lot of issues do stem from the whole fact that they obviously kind of wrote the story patch by patch. At least that's how it felt, rather than making it a bit more overarchingly cohesive when it came to the factions and characters. 2.5 itself, I think, was honestly, a lot of the plot lines were really solid. Like, I think the way they handled Shiyuan's character was fantastic. They developed, I think, his relationship and his entire, you know, perspective on Yeshin Guang quite well. So I was actually really impressed by that. Like his emotional monologue, right? I was thinking that it would be really cool if we get to see him kind of have this acceptance for her, but obviously he still kind of stays true to his purpose and his objective, which is still, I'll like accept what you want, Yeshin Guang, because you are your own person and I respect you, but I still want to do what I can to help regardless of whether or not you think that I should, right? So I really like how they handled that in the end and how they basically let him kind of go on his own journey to still try to help her on the side while still having a sort of acceptance of her as a individual rather than being like forcing his will onto her completely. So I thought that was really well done. Zhao was really good as well. I really liked everything they did with Zhao's storyline, and it didn't feel like they really forced her into the story in my opinion, because it does make sense that, you know, Krampus is constantly sending their members to be nosy in these situations, right? They have their own motivations, and then we get to see them develop through their interactions with us, right? Because the Krampus members are all very traumatized and have their own issues. So then being able to experience true companionship through, you know, the main characters and us, Faithin and our companion, I think is very powerful to see. And also the lore, you know, the Sunbringer lore, I'm really glad they brought in a bunch of the notes and stuff. And the thing about Yeshin Guang is I actually also do quite like her character. But to me, in 2.5, I feel like I didn't really learn anything about her that I didn't already know. Because I think actually, and this is going to sound crazy because she did not have too much screen time in 2.4, but I actually feel like I learned more about Yeshin Guang in 2.4 in that very short interaction we had on our date when we went to go, you know, to have that meal, and then we talked to her about her kind of philosophies on her past and her brother and what was going on. I felt like that was super, super interesting and gave me really good insight into her character. And then in 2.5, she just kind of acted exactly like I would expect a kind of picture perfect paragon of justice human to act. And I really wish that they would have delved deeper into how she feels, not just about Proxy. And listen, and I need to make a disclaimer because I know people are going to like yell at me because I'm a female and I'm not the target audience. I do not care if they make a character who is a waifu, okay? I think the way they executed Vivian was fantastic. And I know, like, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine if they make waifu characters as long as they execute it well. I feel like Yeshin Guang in 2.5, they did not give her really, like, any depth. to her relationship with anyone, whether it's Faithin or the other characters in her life. I feel like they were constantly telling me she really cares about us because we have helped her through this, right? But again, I had already kind of seen that in 2.4. So I'm not learning anything new about her and her perception of us as Faithin and us as the proxies. I would have loved to see like maybe even more insight or depth into what happened with her past, right? Like with her history with Jshoea and everything that happened back then, and her coming to the Yunque Summit. A huge storyline was that, you know, she was kind of taken advantage of by the Yunque Summit. So why not show us some of that rather than just telling it to us through this NPC, Mr. Liu, who has never appeared before, right? I wish it was a lot more like show don't tell, because a lot of the plot lines with Ye Xunguang were just super repetitive in 2.5, and I feel like most of her screen time boiled down to they repeated stuff with the osmanthus cake. They repeated stuff with the, oh, you know, like we are going to go you're helping me like recover my memories, things like that. If you're going to repeat plot lines in a story, you need to offer new information when you repeat this plot line again. Otherwise, you are just being repetitive with no purpose. And then for me, that's what's frustrating. I really, really like the concept of Ye Xunguang, and I like her personality, but that's about it. It's like I like her because I don't really feel like she is a person, if that makes sense. Like I feel like she feels like a shallow character to me, and I wish they would have given her more depth to her character so that I can care about her more. And just see more of those other sides to Ye Xunguang that would have made me care about her a lot. And again, a big fix for that would have been having her show up in the story earlier, right? Then it feels like a more natural progression of our relationship with her. And then we can actually see how we are slowly like through her struggles and being by her side, and slowly see how she is, you know, relying on us as Faithin, relying on us as the MCs, and then how she gets attached to us in that sense. We get to really see how she comes to care for us so much, and how much we have helped her throughout her journey. So yeah, that's like kind of how I feel, because if the Ye Xunguang storyline in 2.5 was just done better, in my opinion, then I actually think 2.5 overall would have been crazy solid.
I would agree.
As a whole.
I think that plays into if they just introduced her earlier and gave her a little bit more time.
Exactly. Like that's what it really boiled down to.
Yeah, those character interactions, then, and not try to shove everything in 2.5. I do also think that it was a I don't really know how to talk about this story point, but I think it's really interesting that they kind of tried to do the like we met as a child thing.
That
like,
one I did
People
not
are saying
like.
that that's like a false memory.
I was gonna talk about that, but I did not like that one.
Because it breaks the timeline. It breaks the timeline, and then whatever proxy you choose, right? They're like, whenever they're talking about the memory with Xinguang, they say something's not right. Like something about that memory isn't correct. And so I think it's interesting that they used that as like a way to sort of bring in that like what's going on with memories? What's going on with the plotline thing? Because there is still that's not the only instance that we have of that. It's still weird with Sarah's backstory, where she seemingly believes that she was an HSO member when they have no recollection of her being an HSO member, and also she was in civilian clothing, and there were no other people in that shot, like where in 2.4 in her backstory when she was in the rubble, there's no other members there, and if she was a part of HSO, she would be in some sort of HSO attire. They wouldn't just send her on a mission in civilian stuff. So that also doesn't make sense. So it could be that the creators like creating fake memories, implanting memories, and whatnot. But yeah, I think that was just to me it was interesting because it felt like they were trying to do like the literally like girlfriend next door, like childhood friend type thing. But then if it's not real, then like why use that as the moment? But
I feel like
I don't mind. I just
everything else probably made that scene feel even more awkward. Like I think had they not, pushed the GF agenda so hard during 2.5, that scene would have been a lot more easy to analyze as oh my god, is this like real or is this fake as a memory for the plot, right? But then because, at least for my perception, like when I got there, this actually does like kind of like lead me into one of the theories I have for the future story with regards to fake memories. It's kind of like everything like building on top of one another, right? Like I think there's a lot of dissatisfaction with how the progression of 2.5 played out with regards to the pacing and then, you know, some of the repetitiveness in the story. So then when people see another like, oh, by the way, they were childhood friends, it feels like that's just another method for them to, you know, like push that particular plot line of, oh my god, childhood friends to lovers kind of type beat. Yeah, but for that in particular, I was actually thinking about it because if that is a false memory, one of the things I was thinking that it would be really interesting if in the future story we start to get even more instances of Proxy, right? Like us, the proxies, being an unreliable narrator in terms
Yeah.
of the because we have seen at the end of 2.5 that we very clearly have the creator's mark on us when the proxy you're playing as, their eye glitches out and they have like kind of like that migraine for a split second that when our sibling is with us, and then the creator's logo is front and center
Yeah,
when
it's
that happens,
overlaid over the entire
overlaid
console.
on the CG, which I think is a very direct way of saying that now the creator is kind of like tapped into our brain very directly. So who's to say that some of the future story won't involve us seeing memories that are false, and that'll be a very interesting narrative way of telling the story and offer a lot of cool ways for them to do plot twists and do like big reveals with like, you know, us the audience without really letting us know what's happening until the end. But doing an unreliable narrator is executing that kind of storytelling well is very difficult. And I do hope that they are able to do it if they do decide to go down that route, because that would be very, very interesting. And I think that would also solve a lot of the issues in terms of how there are some things in the Zenless story that feel very repetitive, like, oh, NPC that we expect to be good but is actually betraying us. That happens time and time again.
You can
Like,
just
I
tell
think
by the
Damien was
eyebrows.
a
It's the
crazy
eyebrows, guys. Like,
yeah, like Damien was a crazy breath of fresh air, right? Because that was like one of the first times we saw someone who was clearly on the opposing side, who was like, okay, maybe it's like we can see the kind of grays in terms of good and evil, right? You have the people who are good, people who are bad, and then you have the people who are kind of just, you know, caught in the middle in this world where there are so many politics and so many powers that are kind of fighting their fights together, and then the effect that can have on citizens who are just existing. That could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I do think it'd be
Anyway.
really cool. Like I said, I'm very excited for season 3 and whatever they like do for it. Because I do think that whatever they go they'll knock it out of the park this time.
Okay, so Josh, what's your opinion? Because
Yeah, Josh, what is your opinion?
well, as
you are the biggest Yenshu
as
gossip,
Ye
so.
Xunguang's boyfriend, I have to
Official.
rate. Yes, official, guys. It's all those POVs. Those are mine, by the way. Yeah, I filmed them.
yeah.
As the number one Ye Xunguang haver. I rate, and I love to subvert expectations. I also rated it as a 7. And
Well, I
1
didn't have to
point
give it a rating.
off, I want to get to this straight away, because this is kind of, well, as not here, but he's tapped in because of his, you know, wireless headset. Because I also agree that I would have loved to have seen, not necessarily the credit scene, but I would have loved to have seen a lot more interactions with Ye Xunguang with every other faction. And this goes to not necessarily the quest being long, because the quest can be long, but instead, regardless of whatever time it is, you got to use your time wisely in how in the amount of quality and the amount of pacing that you put in, right? Because if you have like just a sandwich, just an amalgamation of like, you know, not very fresh product, that's not going to taste very good. So when it came to the story, instead of, you know, having, you know, one extra little date at the beginning of the story or whatnot, I would have loved to seen those 10 minutes be dedicated to her actually getting to meet up with the Obo Squad and Spook Shack and Krampus. But we already kind of, you know, have that interaction from 2.4. But I would have loved to have seen that at the very beginning of the story when we're like, oh, remember the first flower? The first flower started showing up in Waifei Peninsula. Oh, everybody's just here. Whoa, guys. Oh, insane. I would have loved to have seen Ye Xunguang be introduced, as like, oh, Obo Squad's in this section. Let's, have Ye Xunguang like do like a fight with them or something like that, or like an animation fight with them. And then like, or do something with Spook Shack. I would have loved to have seen what Age was talking about, doing and showing, not necessarily telling. That was a big point for me, especially off the back of, not off the back, just we didn't just come off it, but 1.4, right? 1.4 was a great moment to encapsulate all of the different factions and show that, hey, the storyline is very, very interconnected. But for me, that was one of the weaker parts of 2.5. I just felt like the factions were so separated. And funny enough, guess what? At the very last act, everyone was separated. So, hey, but
Zhufufu leading Owo Squad was incredible.
It was
so
real fun to see the pairings. But then I was like,
That
okay,
was
yeah,
the most
Miyabi and
story-
Banya and Dylan. Yeah, like the
this is
three like
bizarre.
most powerful, you could balance the teams
I
a
was
little bit
like-
more, huh? We put all the fucking college students together with the panda.
And then we send Death Machine, Void Hunter.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
And
but
the
it was
same game,
good.
It was it was good. But
funny.
to kind of mix up stuff, and I talk about, I kind of prefaced my ranking and my little spiel here with doing a little bit of subversion. From the get-go, I've been a little bit more negative. One of the things I loved about the story is the overarching theme, which is love. Oh, Josh, you're just in love with Ye Xunguang, and fair enough.
Social.
Fair enough. Okay. But that was not the highlight of the story at all. Like, I honestly paid very little attention to the dating aspects of the story. And as I bring up love, I paid more attention to the overarching theme of 2.x, and that's love. And I've talked about this on my stream. Love has been shown in so many different ways with the three major factions. We have familial love with the Yunhui Summit, with Yeshi and Ye Xunguang. We have
And Yukon and her sister.
love of comrades, of working and challenging something together, right? Opal Squad. And then we have more friendship and love with the Spook Shack. And those three different types of dynamics really all kind of came together in the 2.5 story, and that's something I really, really did appreciate. And I think they, at least for me, as I was like, that was a theme that I was really trying to look at it and break down. I really loved how they did that. But let's go back to why I took off some points, because I did not
Wait,
love. Yeah,
Real quick, can I add in, since you talked about the theme of overall season 2?
please.
I do think a huge thing of season 2 also was like overcoming internal conflict, because that was like a major thing in everything as well. Yi Xuan never really got over Yu Zhang until like literally just now. And that didn't get resolved until like now. The whole thing with Bon Yue also, like his traumatic past and having to overcome that as well. Dylan, like having to her whole thing of having to deal with the voices and everything like that. Zhao having to overcome the entire like equal balance thing. Yuzaha and her traumatic past. Monato as well, like literally everyone, like even Xinguang, they all have their own internal conflict thing. Magus with Isolde, their whole internal conflict with Porcelumix, etc. When that also showcased one who can overcome their internal conflict and one who cannot. That being Isolde. I was about to say rip in pieces, but that's not how that works. Just rip in general. Rip Isolde. But yeah, I do think that was also like a very big theme, and it was really nice to see.
But yeah, back to the love aspects and the theming of love. What I would have loved, or what I would have really liked to have seen to encapsulate that even just more, is, remember how Isolde shows up as, you know, the phantom thing, whatever, I don't know what you call it, but
The miasma illusion.
yeah, the illusion. What would have been so freaking nice is that we would have seen Lucia's dad show up with Spook Shack, Isolde showing up with Obel Squad, and we would have seen maybe the mom or whatever, I forgot, from Vanya's story show up with Krampus as those three were off, you know, fighting. I would really have loved that as like a physical metaphor for each of their individual stories, as we kind of like tie that and wrap up that in a little nice neat bow, as just far as like story, like writing story, like, you know, questing, execution, blah blah blah.
Imagine you saw Steed Senior's spirit in the fight as well.
That would have been brutal.
That would have been brutal, but then
Actual
also,
tears.
you know, yeah, no, but like that's the stuff that like I felt like would have displayed the theme a little bit better, because as I mentioned, the theme of love, I don't think people kind of hone in on that at all with the 2.5 story or 2.x in general, because this whole time it's always been about love with each of the major three factions and the different types of relationships that we even have IRL, right? That was one thing I wish was executed a little bit better, even though I thought it was one of the stronger points of the story. And then Sarah's story
Oh my god.
got a huge docked me down a nice chunk, because the way that they
gone.
expected her part of the story
She's
to like
she no longer has her own identity and her own like she's part of the hive mind. That means she's no longer her.
Yeah, but you could maybe hear her voice though.
Okay, but her voice doesn't matter if she's not an entity that can have its own emotions and think for itself and have
No,
its own
I know.
like, it's just
yeah.
Sarah, man. Like, Sarah is like the biggest fumble that I have ever seen in my life in a story. Like, she had so much potential. I thought that 2.x was the beginning of Sarah's story. They started teasing her backstory in 2.4, and then, you know, she yeeted. And I thought that, okay, she might have yeeted here, but maybe like she'll have some sort of relevance in 2.5, or like maybe it's like, you know, getting yeeted into the creator isn't necessarily exactly what we think it is, because there's so much unknown about the creator. And then they show her face, and then they're like, that's not actually her. Then why show her face? That's literally just, it feels like it's just fan service. I'll be so real. Like,
No, I don't think it's fan service. I disagree with that. I do think that that it wasn't necessarily a good resolution of her story, but I mean, her whole thing was that she wanted to offer up her flesh, and like even in the description, right? Like it does explain that, like she offered up her flesh to be used as like a vessel. So I don't think it was necessarily fan service, but
I'm just
I
frustrated
did think that
because I wanted
yeah.
more from her.
No, and I
wanted
don't blame
more
you.
from
And I
her.
don't blame you. I do think the
When I saw her,
concept
I was
of her
like, okay.
being like dead inside, like that was literally just like that was just a shell. Like that was literally just her body that was being puppeted around. I thought that concept was sick, but yeah, I would agree that the like if this is truly the end of like Sarah's like full story, then yeah, it was a little lackluster.
Yeah. And hey, apparently the big bad is you know, the emergence of AI, guys. Like, whoa. Springtrap,
What
I
do you
think,
mean?
you know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, Springtrap.
Yeah, Springtrap. He was there.
Very unsubtle about the suspiciousness.
No, yeah,
So
wow, yeah, but then him turning out to be like the, you know, conceptual, like, you know,
Yokai?
philosophical, you know, bad of the story, of course, didn't land with me. Not to say that the character wasn't good, just very misused. Very misused.
I loved him though.
I loved him.
that.
I know.
I
I do-
loved
I
him.
like- I
I
love
was saying,
him a lot.
that's my gripe.
But-
He's misused, I think.
He was kind of there more as a plot
Yeah.
device, I feel, rather than having a proper role as a character, if that makes sense. Like I really like his personality and what he is or what it is, but it just kind of served as a plot device for us to go fight the Sarah amalgamation, and then also for Yokai to be like, what's up?
And the Sunbringer Lord,
and the Sunbringer Lord up.
Yeah.
He was used as a the aspects from season 1 that people wanted to go into. He was used as that plot device, which I'm not like against. I don't disagree that I think that it was kind of they did it again, right? Mr. Liu and which, yes, we know it's Spring or Lock Spring, but Spring Lock is what we all call it. He was also introduced and then also was like a twist villain, which I think is funny that they did two in the same patch. But
and this is my little brainstorming thing. I would have loved to have seen that as the Astrial epilogue.
Like the Lock Spring stuff in particular?
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen us take that concept, put it as an epilogue.
I don't know if that would have worked, if I'm being honest with you. I think due to the fact that Sunbringer, right, the creator took Sunbringer's power, we needed that Sunbringer drop then. I also think that this was a very interesting way to showcase Yokai. Because if there wasn't they still could have done something where Yokai was using Lock Spring to do something funny, haha, during the AOD arc as the epilogue. But I think showing that one of the great 4 AIs that we've been looking forward to being this much of I'm just gonna fuck shit up because I know I can and it's fine. I just want to do twisted shit because the plan that's gonna happen no matter what. So I'm just gonna have fun while I'm here.
He's he's the Eon of Elation.
That's basically, yeah. I mean, that's not wrong. I think doing it on this scale was a good way to introduce that aspect of Yokai. I see what you mean though. 100%. I do see that. I think it was an interesting little add-on, even though we needed it him before Sunbreaker.
I feel that.
I just don't really know what they would have written him for in terms of the epilogue, with that also being with AOD.
I think the ending would have hit way more for me, and people disagree with me on this, but I really feel like they just brushed off the whole Amnesia plotline so easily in the main story. I know we get to see more of that in the Yeshunguang event story epilogue, which is what I'm currently playing through, but it's in the main story, they've been building up for so many patches, and even when Yeshunguang wasn't on the screen, right? The Qingming sword is this entity that we know about since 2.x, and how it has, what the effects that it can have on the user, and how devastating that is, right? Especially how we've seen that before with Miyabi's ancestors as well. With the Amnesia storyline, it's they've been building this up for so long. It's so serious. They start getting into it in 2.5 directly because Yeshunguang's here, and then there's that whole we go save her from the memories thing. It felt like we fixed it way too easily because we used a bit of the creator's power. We helped her recover her memories, and then after that they just kind of waved it away with oh yeah, these side effects, it's they're still there but they're not that bad, so it's fine. And then it's maybe they'll come back in the future because it's still there, because it's the sword. But that kind of just feels more they're just covering their loose ends, being yeah, the sword still has effects that are still affecting her, but you don't really feel them anymore. And again, as like you said, if they had introduced her earlier, and then we could see a more gradual deterioration. Oh my god. Deterioration? Wait, is that?
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
deterioration
that's it.
Yeah. of her sanity and her senses and all of that whole shebang. And then we get to see that alongside her as her most trusted companion. That would hurt so much, right? And then it all accumulates, and then I was mentioning this during the event story. Again, I haven't finished it, so I'm not sure if the end of the event story would change this. But I kind of feel from what I've seen of the event story so far, it's the trials of the sword to kind of help her learn more about it and accept it. Because in the final fight, she's yeah, I just needed to accept the sword wholly. and then it's like now everything is better. In the moment, they were quite unclear, to be completely honest. It kind of sounded like they were saying, yeah, everything's fine now because I've accepted the sword. They did clear it up in the dialogue after that the sword effects are still there, but just like the entire way they handled the amnesia storyline just felt really cheap to me. And like
That's fair.
they built it up to be the main storyline, and then they kind of just hand waved it away for other stuff to like keep us interested in other stuff, I guess. So I
Agree.
really wish they would have handled that with a bit more care, just because stuff like memory loss is very serious and I think very emotional and also very scary,
Yeah.
right? They try to hammer home the point with the osmanthus cake, oh, like she's forgetting all the memories, but then again, because we just help her fix her memories after she essentially goes overboard, it's like, okay, so let's just find another convenient fragment of the creator's power and then go back in and lead her out of the memories again, and she'll be fine again. And that's kind of how I felt playing it.
I would agree. I do think that it happened way too quickly. I did think that it was interesting. I had somebody say that it impacted them a little bit more because they don't look at drip marketing, which I did bring up as a conversation because
It
I
impacted who?
mentioned one of my
More?
viewers.
Oh.
Like it impact, like the story, they felt more impacted by it because they don't look at any of the drip marketing, so they did not know that she was going to be a void hunter. Because going into this, right, we all knew that she was going to be a void hunter, that she was going to be given the title, and that means when all of the stuff happened with the big moment with Freaky Guang, like disappearing and whatever, you know, doing that final like sacrifice, and then her losing her memories. Yes, it's like her having to go through that is sad, but it's hard to get to the emotional like peak where I feel it like I did, for example, Seed's story, right? Where I was like literally bawling because of the fact that I know they didn't give, respectfully, they didn't give a fully crippled like version of Xingguang the Void Hunter title. Like, obviously she was gonna get her senses back. So it was like a, oh damn, like this is sad, but she's gonna get it back, and then she gets it back in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
And so like that's just the thing of we are always caught up on the drip marketing, like the advertising. Like, we knew she was going to be a void hunter, but for those that don't look at the drip marketing or any of the trailers or anything like that, technically they would not have known that she was going to be a void hunter, because in game they do mention like, oh, she seems to be the one to next be a void hunter. Like, if anyone's going to be a void hunter soon, it would be her, but they don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like when she's drip marketed, we know like she is a void hunter. The symbol is there. So I feel like that definitely impacted my ability to have a deeper emotional connection to the moment, knowing that we were about to solve it.
Yeah, it was just
But
about
here's
like
the
how
thing,
we
like,
get there.
Like for me, I actually expected her to essentially, like all the stuff that we see of her doing all the Void Hunter feats, I thought that basically at the end of the story, she would basically go all the way to, you know, save everyone, and then that would be the feat that got her the Void Hunter title, and then we would feel some lasting effects of her having to exert that amount of power. So then, like post-story, you know, maybe she's kind of going through it or struggling with the side effects really starting to get really bad, and then maybe the post-epilogue, you could see her kind of in this void. Maybe she learns more about the Qingming sword once she is in that state, so she can actually connect more to exactly the origin of the sword and what the other wielders went through, and then we can maybe in the future find some way, once we learn more about the cursed weapons and exactly what they are and how they come to be, then maybe we can find a way to actually help her and fix her and get her in a better state. Yeah, it's just the lack of stakes, right? It's like they say that the stakes are like this with Ye Guang, and then they just wave away the stakes. So then it's kind of frustrating because it feels like you've just completely eradicated all of the pressure, all of the tension that comes with wielding that Qingming sword. So
Yeah.
I just really wish they would have handled that plot line a lot better, because it is such an overarching, it's essentially the one thing that's kind of tying the entire Waifu Peninsula storyline together too, right? Is that you have this really big power of the creator, and there's only one power that can essentially stop it, which is the Qingming Sword's power. So then we have to find a way. Ye Guang has to kind of take up that mantle to do those feats, regardless of the cost that it's gonna take her. So yeah, that's kind of what I expected, even after seeing all the drip marketing, which is, I don't know, maybe because I had expectations, it made me more disappointed. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, I would agree. One final thing that I'm just gonna bring up that we can like talk about for a second, I guess. I do think that the events were so good.
Oh yeah, the events were so good. Oh my god.
Specifically the co-op event, because obviously, I think everyone really enjoys the interfaction interactions, and we got some crazy interfaction interactions with the co-op event. Seeing Lucy and Lighter talk with Xiao was awesome.
Don't trust her.
That was the last like duo that I expected to see there. And yeah, seeing all of those like cool pairings was really fun, and it felt great. Like the writing of that was awesome, the lore in that was awesome. Interactions were sick. My only downside, why the fuck is the co-op event not in Redo Chronicles? I understand it is a beta for feedback in the co-op thing, but when you
the lore is so important. I
keep
feel
the story part in.
It's
The-
yeah,
like-
it's a little.
The
so
lore
important.
was very important. This isn't like this is so much worse than Enter the Ether that happened in 1.1. Like that was the one where they first introduced like the concept of the Exaltist, and then that was not a permanent event. But this is what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is it not in the Redo Chronicles? I don't understand. But yeah, anyway, the character interactions were really cute, and I liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see more of that in season.
Just really quickly, yeah, for the co-op event, dude, the lore went so hard. It literally unlocked my mind palace with connecting a bunch of dots with the Void Hunters, the weapons, the hollows, and everything there. So that was super sick. And then also the Guang event. Like I'm not even done right now, but I feel like it's so interesting what they've done so far with teaching us more about past heroes in Waifu Peninsula and Eridu in general. And I'm really excited to see what the ending is going to be and how that's going to connect to whatever is going on. It's just like the lore and world building as a whole in this patch was so good. The Sunbringer stuff, the Joyous stuff, I complained about how there's not enough Qingming stuff in the main story, but I am getting Qingming stuff in the event, right?
Yes.
But why? My only thing was, why was the event story, like the Qingming stuff, not in the main story, right?
It's okay.
like
It's okay. Leave it.
Yeah.
I will say
I'll
though,
leave it,
the
I'll
thing
leave
that
it.
you just finished, like the tiger stuff, that was my favorite part of that.
I liked
Because
it,
we
yes.
heard that entire thing in Zhufufu's agent story. Like we heard about that.
Yeah.
But now we're living it. Like we got to witness it this time. And that was fucking cool. So yeah, anyway, now Josh go.
Yeah. You know, I love me some semi-open world. I play me some Genshin. I love me some exploring and diving and going into the mines. I love the mines. So when it came to the Sunbringer stuff, I was like, whoa, like I get to go through the lore and go through quests and like explore these areas and just man, the Lemnian Hollow, I hope doesn't I understand not everybody like loves exploring in the Lemnian Hollow and what that area and mode entails, but I do hope it's a great stepping stone to what we can expect and see in 3.0 because lore wise we're going back to what is it, like the non-static hollow, because Lemnian Hollows, these are like static areas, what do they call it?
You talking about stable?
Yeah, stable hollows. Or
What-
yeah, is it just stable hollows?
non-stable?
Wow, brain off.
Well, I don't really know what you're talking about, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, just like stable hollow areas where like they don't change versus like,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yes. Yeah. Because the only reason why that's there is because of the Lumite ore stuff. Because it's like
Yes.
blocking the ether, and that's what's creating the
Yes.
stuff. And the Lumite ore is
Yeah, the
only
procedurally
Yeah.
yes.
I see what you're
generated.
Yeah.
Hollows.
So yeah, I'm excited because there's a lot of like, inklings about like how we can expand this, and like integrate like quests and stuff like that. And I really, really like it. Outside of like, of course, what you guys said, I want to double down on the quests. And not only are we getting Jingming, lore, not only are we getting, other Hollow lore, we're getting faction lore because the Angels of Delusion quest is coming as of this recording next week. Exciting!
Next.
Or is it
Wait,
this
is
Friday?
it next week?
Should be next week.
Wait. Oh my
Wait, but there's still
God.
25
Is
days
there-
left of the patch. There's still 24 days left of the patch. on
Not
Yoshiro's
at the
banner.
beginning of next week. At the end, I think at the end of next week or something. Or is it the week after, chat?
I think
it's the week
forgot.
after.
Maybe
I
it's the week
forgot
after.
20
that the AOD event was happening.
checked
this
earlier.
patch.
It is
Oh,
probably
is it
actually-
happening this patch?
It is.
Oh,
It is.
okay. You're talking about second half of 2.5. Because I was like,
Yep.
wait,
Yeah,
2.5 is still 24 days left. So.
No. Yeah, there is an AOD event.
Yes. So maybe
Cool,
it's the week
okay.
after because next week is when we get the rerun banners. So maybe it's the week after. But
We will
my
be
bad.
there.
But yeah,
We will be.
And-
there.
yeah.
On that note, with the like hollows and the gameplay, right? As much as I've been complaining about the story, I give season 2, I give the devs a lot of leeway for season 2, and at the end of the day, I am trying to be very understanding with the flaws that did exist during 2.x as a whole, because of how they had to remake their entire game. And basically try to find a way to tell the story completely differently from how it was originally planned, because they're completely like revamping their gameplay system, right, with the hollows and having everyone inside. And I do think a lot of those issues a lot of the writing issues did come from the fact that they were kind of probably trying to fix the story patch by patch. That's why we didn't see some of the overarching characters and plot lines until it was like time for their patch, because they were working to try to, like make the gameplay experience better, try to fix all of those, try out the different things so that the gameplay itself doesn't become stale. Because even though I am mostly a story enjoyer and I don't care too much about the gameplay, there are definitely a lot of people who play Zenless Zone Zero who do care about the gameplay. They care about, how like what you can do outside of just the story itself. Some people just skip the story entirely, right? So they have to make sure that the game is solid as a whole for people who enjoy the combat, people who enjoy the puzzles and exploring the hollows. So because they were probably so focused on that, I give them a lot of understanding for why there were so many issues with the story. It's just also important to talk about those issues and how they can fix them for 3.x, which is why I am very excited for 3.x and hopeful that they don't have as many of these types of writing issues in the future, just because, okay, now you have like a solid gameplay, you have, you've set up your base, you've structured everything how you need it to be for the gameplay and the game itself that is now different from where it originated in 1.x. So from this point onwards, it's like, please lock in. Please lock in on the story and make sure that it does not feel so disjointed, I think, throughout the overarching patch. That is my hope. That is my hope for 3.x. And I do have faith and I am excited and hopeful that they will be able to follow through on that. So, yeah. Send it off on a positive note, I guess, since I have been complaining a lot this podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm that annoying yapping bitch, okay? But
no, you gotta talk about the things that are a problem. Also, Phaethon will not be getting out of the hollows. I hate to break it to you, chat. That will not be happening. Yeah. I would say that one you're just gonna have to get over. Because we will only see that more. But yeah, I would agree. I think I'm really, really excited for 3.0, and it really depends on how they actually do the writing. Because they mentioned that this was the first time that they tried to do, in season 1, they did bite-sized writing, where like it was complete stories within each patch. And this one they tried to do an overarching story that went throughout the entire season, and they said that they were not used to that writing style, and obviously they hit some road bumps along the way. So either they figured that shit out and they're going to lock in and do the similar thing of an overarching story in season 3, or they'll return to the original writing way, which was like stories per patch. I do not think they'll be returning to the original way. I think it will still be an overarching story throughout the season. However, I do think that they learned a lot of lessons via season 2, and that they will do better for season 3.
We'll see. I mean, here's the thing. I know we talk a lot. Like we were like, oh, we're very hopeful for 3.0. We haven't even wrapped up 2.x yet with 2.6
I know,
and
we still have
2.7.
the epilogue.
So
Yeah.
like, you know,
I'm so excited for the
some
marketing.
people might be like, oh, I don't like Angels of Delusion. Did you get us to 3.0 already? Or they might
give
be
me
very
that
excited
EP,
about
bro.
him. They might be very excited
Yeah.
about him.
The
So,
music.
you know.
Give me the Zenless music. It's a music company, you know? Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah. Hoyo
They just make a
is a
game on
music
the
company.
side.
Yep, that is factual. Yep. I just hope a lot of people go into this, like, you know, idols kind of extra patches with an open mind, just because understandably a lot of the kind of like I assume it's more just like social media and extended, especially the streaming space. Cough, cough. They're not very fond of VTubers, idols, currently in the greater space, as far as what
Really?
I've collected. And this has
Yeah,
to
I
do
don't
with
know
a
if
lot
you
of like
noticed, but there's,
greater, you know, drama and stuff, not related
Yeah,
even
there's
to
a
just us.
lot of
Oh.
there's a lot of like hate towards them, I suppose. But I think that is
Who, Angels
also
of
just
Delusion
like
or like VTubers in general? Sorry.
Like
Yes.
VTubers and idol cultures. Like it is more like cultural clashing a little bit, I'd say, just to put it in a broader term. Yeah.
I do think there is a difference though, because these are fictional characters versus real people. Because I know a lot of the issues and a lot of the discussions have been surrounding how, like, you know, actual people and actual idols and VTubers and stuff are treated and handled and things like that. I don't know. I feel like people won't care as much because these are fictional characters. So at the end of the day, it's like they're not real.
I'll be
But
so
we'll
straight
see.
up honest. I've
I
seen
could just be
discourse
naive.
already. I've seen discourse
I
already.
could be very
Maybe I'm on
naive because I
Twitter too
haven't
much.
seen
I
any
gotta,
of the
I gotta
AOD
fucking get off
to be
Twitter.
honest,
God
so-
damn
I was
it.
gonna say you just gotta get off Twitter.
Oh
it's
my
it's one of the
God.
things, like the Twitter things.
Before we have you go, let's kind of talk about what we have coming up in the near future. I guess any things we were, you know, current events that we might be looking forward to for in the near future.
The near future,
Yeah.
the stream for the AOD event, and then just more videos. There's might be, like I said at the start, I think there's gonna be a little lack of streams for like soon. I am gonna stream at some point soon to do the current event, like the combat event or whatever that just came out, like that Zhao's a part of or whatever.
Oh, the Zhao combat
I
event.
haven't
Yeah,
done
yeah.
it yet. Yeah, so I'll be streaming that soon. But after that, there might be a lack of streams, but more videos. So yeah, look forward to that, and then actual projects in the future. I just have no like actual time. It won't be near future. That's future. So yeah,
Age?
yeah.
I mean, for me right now, I'm gonna try to start up like story reviews again this year. I kind of stopped doing them. So
fun.
I'm going to finish the Yeshunguang event story, since people told me to finish that before I do my review for this patch. So after that, I'll probably do a review and start posting those. So I'll probably have a 2.5 review out this week
Okay.
for the overarching story, my thoughts. I mean, I did talk about a lot of them on this podcast already.
Yeah, but still.
But I'll give like a more
We
like
need more. We need
more
more.
like list style
Yeah.
of my thoughts and how we can like improve or what they did well and things like that. So yeah, I guess that's like the near future for me. And then I'm going to, this is not Zenless related, but I'm going to the Wu event end of the month. So
Yes.
I'll be trying to do an IRL stream for the 4th time and see if
It'll
that
work this time.
works.
It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work.
We
Manifest.
will-
Manifest.
This will
Fingers
work.
crossed, fingers crossed.
We have.
Yeah, 'cause
we
I-
have set up. We have the setup now. We're
Yeah,
good.
because if I can just figure out how to do an IRL stream properly with no scuff, then I'll try to go to more conventions and stuff in my city this year
Hell yeah.
as well.
Ooh.
So that show you guys lots of different stuff, and yeah, that's me.
If I can speak for you,
Sure.
Age, one more thing. When are we gonna see part 2 of our surgery?
Oh, my surgery was completed because Kate refused to give up. So
For
we
con-
sat
for
there
context,
5
folks,
hours.
I didn't realize you actually finished because I didn't get to the very end of it because yeah, if you guys don't know, good friend of the Proxy Podcast, an amazing Zenless creator, Kate the Seventh, was brought upon to help Age with their account. How'd that go though, Age? You know, just as a quick little synopsis of that.
See, I thought my account was fine. I'll be so real. Like, yeah, there were some things that I knew were like, yeah, lol, this is pretty bad. but I decided to keep it for the meme because I thought it'd be funnier. But then it turns out, apart from those, like overall, it was a lot more than expected. So it was kind of wild. I've had people flaming me literally today earlier. Someone was, I don't know if they were rage baiting or just hating, but they were like, yo, you call yourself a Zenless player with that kind of account? That was great.
Some people genuinely were angry. Some people were genuinely angry.
So I'm like,
But I had people DMing me saying to check out how dog shit your account was from Kete's thing, which I thought was really funny.
Listen,
because my
guys,
account was also dog shit when Kete went through mine. So
this is the thing that people don't understand. I literally have 3 M6 characters, so I don't need to build my other characters. I built my 2 teams, and then I could clear shit.
That's right.
So everyone else was like, I literally cleared with money. So that's why I didn't build my other characters, because I was lazy.
But it was a fun watch. It was a fun watch for a lot of people who tuned in. Yeah. And like very educational, I think. If you guys are like, oh, how can I go about like, building my own accounts? How can I go about, kind of approaching the game in terms of like the actual building and like, execution of characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I learned a lot too.
Yeah.
While watching Kate, helping me roll things. Because he was also giving advice about like certain teams and stuff, which was pretty interesting. Because I don't really care about meta in general. I look up someone's guide, they tell me, oh, this team works. I just pick that team and then I go spam click. So
Real.
That's how I play the game.
I do the same thing.
My little thing, 1 or 2 things is headed to Anime Impulse LA. So if you guys are in Los Angeles, hey, come say hi. I'll be there for the weekend. Hopefully we'll do more Proxy podcasts. I do have a bunch more videos coming up. Funny enough, I mentioned Kate because I had a co-op collab with Kate and Phantom, where we did Phantom's very wacky wheel of challenges, and that was very, very wacky and very, very silly and goofy. And in Phantom's words, it brought us back on it. I kind of to like how it felt like when we started out with Zenless. Not necessarily having everything, and things being a challenge a little bit of sorts, I guess. From our perspective, because we're relatively practice players. So that was a fun little exercise there. So that video is coming up soon, folks. Our first podcast of 2026.
Peak. Cinema.
Cheers to more. Cheers to more. Make sure you guys go catch us over on our Twitch channels and our YouTube channels. Bow, Azrael Venny, Bow, Jshoea, in post.
All linked everywhere.
Everywhere. And there's going to be explosions.
It's all over the screen. It's all over the screen.
Their effects. Boom. And thanks so much for tuning in. And hey, don't forget, I didn't forget about you Spotify listeners, okay? Sometimes we forget about y'all. All right. Hey, there are a couple of y'all there.
Hey, speak for yourself. I never forget about the audio-only listeners.
Fair enough. Hey, thanks so much. Make sure you guys leave a comment what you guys would like us to talk about next. Signing out. Sayonara. Bye.
Sayonara.
Bye.
As has been refined by the creator.
It looks so cool with the red.
My head is pounding. I had to turn off my stream lights. That shit was not it. It beaming down. Yeah, it was not it.